Head to the top half of the fourth. We are scoreless in Midweek Baseball League All-Star Game. The West with one hit through 3 innings. Shut down nicely by Bill Saslowski. And a new pitcher now, Paul Imperio, on the mound from the Long Island Saints, right-hander. Plays in the 35 and older league. Doesn't throw very hard. A lot of movement on his pitches. Using his smarts. First pitch missed for a ball, 1-0. Next pitch misses outside, 2-0 to Jim McGee. Jim McGee from the Stony Brook Padres, 35 and older. Strange batting stance, actually out of the batter's box. Surprised that the umpire allows it. Lifts this one in the infield to second base where Corn puts it away. It's a can of corn, 1 down.
Very nice. Jimmy McGee, who earlier today was the recipient of the first President's Special Recognition Award for more than 20 years of dedication to managing and sacrifices of self for his teammates. As Benny Caliendo from the Grizzlies steps into the box. Benny, who's in the sign business, and Benny plays for me in tournaments and most recently in Las Vegas for the past half a dozen years, manages the Grizzlies, so he fouls one off.
Boy, it is interesting watching Imperio on the mound because the speed is certainly not the issue. It's the movement that he's got. I don't know if he's throwing a knuckleball.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's throwing.
I can tell you, he definitely throws a knuckleball, and he throws it frequently, and he'll throw it at any place in the count. He's one of those guys. He knows he doesn't have velocity, but he's going to show you everything in the world in a way of junk. And then when he does throw a fastball, it's probably not going to be in the strike zone because it won't be something that he wants anybody to get. It's just enough to throw guys off balance. Paul is, according to him, he's been in the league for 25 years, and I would not doubt it in the least.
And that ball is bobbled at short. We're going to give that an error as Caliendo reaches on the E6 with 1 down here in the top half of the 4th inning.
40, the Huntington Yankees.
So Chuck Voorhees of the Huntington Yankees will come in to face Imperio with a runner on first and Caliendo. You know, Tim, I'm a guy who loves the history of the baseball game. And I look out on the mound and I see Imperio. He wears number 41. Who used to wear 41? What pitcher? Easy
Tom
question.
Seaver.
Tom Seaver.
There you go.
I wonder if he actually modeled his pitching style from Seaver, because watch the way he sets. I don't know here if he's going to pitch from the set or from the windup, but his mannerisms, until of course he gets to actually throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he's got a runner on, so he's definitely working from a set.
But I don't know if you're going to notice it as much from the set as you will from the full windup. But it's very Tom Seaver-ish. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Voorhees. We'll have to take a look at it when there's nobody on base.
Okay. Well,
but it was something I picked it up pretty quickly and then realized what number he wore. And it's just the way he presents himself on the mound. And, you know, I wish we had the split screen to show Seaver, but of course we don't have any footage to do that with today. But just an interesting way that he pitches.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
And he's been around a long time.
He's been around a long time.
It's certainly not that he hadn't seen Tom Seaver.
Oh,
Some
no.
of these guys that play in this league probably don't even know who Tom Seaver is.
Paul's 51, so I would say he'd be old enough to remember Seaver.
Sure.
And Paul, on the bio that he wrote for me, he reminded me that he beat us in 2011 championship game, which he did. He baffled us and bamboozled us, and I can tell you it was one of the neatest pitching performances I've ever seen. As Voorhees dunks a single into left field, and you've got a 1 out and runners on first and second, so that error has now put the West Division with their first runner in scoring position on second, only 1 out.
Jack O'Brien from Wantagh in Yankees with a chance to knock home the first run. Imperio from the set, runners at first and second. That delivery, slap foul. Caliendo at second, Voorhees at first. 1 down here in the 4th. Next up on that bat handle. Stands close to the plate. Looks at the 0-1. Missing outside, 1-1.
Jack O'Brien with the Wantagh in Yankees. Went to high school in Wantagh. Lives in Wantagh. Maybe they just haven't let him out. Jack O'Brien's trapped in Wantagh.
Not a bad place to be trapped.
No, no, not at all. And he's been in the league for a long time. A lot of these guys, I'm so happy when I see this. When I see that guys are writing down to here 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. I talked to Mike Denenberg, who's here as an all-star, and remembered that he started in 1991 in this league.
Years.
So this is our 25th year.
Yeah, they're not to have to pat you on the back, but there is a pat on the back because you've done a great job with this league. And you know, I'm sure when you started this, I don't think you probably could have imagined some 25 years later that it would be where it is today.
Not at all. At the time, it was I had gone to fantasy camp, fallen back. Not that I had never fallen out of love with the game of baseball, but playing the game of baseball was something that I had completely given up. I was playing softball regularly. And certainly that was a lot of fun, but once I went back to real baseball, as O'Brien swings and misses on a change from Imperio, and heads back to the dugout. But yeah, I came back and with that feeling that I was missing something by playing softball. And Eddie Cantor, who had been to fantasy camp with me the previous year, had already started playing on the weekends in baseball, was playing softball during the week, so we had this idea, we discussed it, we said, hey, we could maybe get an alternative because we were playing softball during the week. Maybe we can play softball was Tuesday nights. Let's see if we can get baseball just Thursday nights. And put an ad in the local paper, had a meeting, literally had a bunch of guys, complete strangers, show up at Great Neck South High School one Sunday morning in March of 1990 and drafted 2 complete teams.
Wow.
Got two guys, God bless them, out of nowhere to manage 2 teams. We took our softball team, which was mostly guys 30 and over, and just by luck, there was a team from the existing weekend league that had started back in 1986. How they heard about us, I don't know, but the manager was a fellow by the name of Niles Wellickson, who's no longer playing but is still around. They called me and said, look, we're playing a weekend league, but we'd like to play more games, so can we join your league? We said, sure. Of course, they dominated for the first year. So we were playing softball Tuesday nights and baseball Thursday nights. The next year, we put an ad in the paper. I guess the word got out. This is before the internet, 1991, and we had 8 teams. No more softball.
1-2 the count on Will Horan.
Oh,
on the
right.
God, I'm looking to retire the side. So we will continue the story in the bottom half of the inning. But I'm going to let everybody know that there were no runs. There was 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. At the end of 3 1/2, scoreless, the West and the East All-Stars here in Old Westbury. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Dave Terracciano on to pitch, replacing Armand Mollier, who pitched 2 strong innings. Terracciano on the mound, the tall right-hander, Big Daddy they call him. And his first batter he'll face is Artie Johnson.
Yeah, and they're actually teammates on the Cubs. Artie also plays for the Long Island Orioles. And Big Daddy, Dave Terracciano, who has been pitching in this league for, I want to say, at least 20 years, is a teammate of mine. It's great to have as a teammate, a real bulldog of a pitcher. And there's a guy last spring in the spring tournament said to me, listen to me, I'm finished pitching. My arm is shot, I can't pitch. I said, Dave, do me a favor, go down in the bullpen with Pete, one of our catchers, and throw submarine pitches. I said, no, I've seen you throw that fooling around as
he reaches on the error by second baseman.
Okay, I missed that, I'm sorry.
Frank Esposito now with runner on first, leading off Artie Johnson.
So to finish the story, he goes down to the bullpen, he comes back, he says, I can throw submarine. I said, does it hurt? He says, no. I said, well then, will you go out and pitch a couple innings for me because I'm running out of pitchers in this tournament. Goes out, pitches 3 scoreless innings. I said, Dave,
you're back.
We've reinvented you. He pitched the whole season. I think he was like 9-1 or something. He pitched this year. It's like he's reinvented himself.
I believe Eddie Muria has gone back behind the plate now, replacing Tom Foley as well. So substitutions with nobody out and the runner on at first. And Artie Johnson, as Esposito looks at that pitch, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. So Teresiano's going to have to come in here. Could be a pitch to drive for Esposito. Breaking ball misses outside, 3-0.
And the problem here is that Dave has not pitched in a week and a half. And he's used to throwing. Wow, I gotta see if I can get it on. There's a delay there, huh?
Yeah, 3-0 count. Runner takes his lead off first. 3-0 swinging, slaps it foul down the left field line. That'll go out of play. As I mentioned, not a lot of room down the sidelines, down the first and third base lines rather. 330 down the line. Generous gap here, 410 in center. Pretty high fence. Great field here at Old Westbury. The college does such a great job with the grounds.
They did a beautiful job today of getting us ready, lined, bases painted, scoreboards working, lights are on. It's a beautiful night for baseball.
So Esposito works a walk. Now first two batters are on. Johnson at second, Esposito at first.
Why can't I get this on?
Robert Williams.
So it'll be Williams coming to the plate now for the East. Robert Williams from the Diamondbacks. Big situation here for the East All-Stars.
So Big Daddy's pitched himself into a little bit of a jam with, of course, the defense hurting him there with the opening error.
Last inning, the East did get a runner to second in Robert Jackson, but he could not come home as Schickler struck out to end that inning.
Who we have up now is...
This is Robert Williams.
Okay.
It's a count of 2-1, so another hitting count. Teresiano struggling on the mound here in the fourth. That pitch catches the corner.
Okay, and you can see that, and I can see because I've seen Big Daddy Dave pitch before. He's going to start getting into a groove. He's a little rusty, hadn't pitched in a week and a half. Season's been over for us for about that amount of time. And there you can see Williams chased a pitch. It was a good, half a foot off the outside corner. He's just swinging at the motion at that point.
Teresiano dropped down a little on that pitch as well.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. That's he'll throw from down submarine style. He'll get it up as far as 3/4. Throws a lot of stuff sidearm as Williams pops one on the grounder to second, and they get the force out. 4-6. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 4-6 for the fielder's choice.
But Johnson moves over to third, so he's 90 feet away from scoring the first run in the game.
So they've got their first out of the inning on the fielder's choice, but first runner to get in the third base for either team here in the fourth inning, and we've been moving right along. So first team to score here, it's going to be a tight game. It certainly has been so far. As Teresiano now is getting ahead in the count on first pitches.
Rob Ahern from the Saints looks at the first pitch, 0-1. Chance to get home the first run. Infield playing back at normal depth. Runner from first goes, no throw down to second. We'll credit him with the stolen base. Williams down to second, runners now at second and third. 1-1 the count on Ahern.
The Rob Ahern, who plays for the Saints. The middle infielder, married with 3 children. He lives in St. James, originally from Hauppauge.
Hit on the ground to short. The run will score. Throw across the diamond. Nice play at first with the tag, but it's an RBI ground out for Ahern. Score at 6-3. Give him a ribby as Johnson comes home, and Williams advances to third. 2 away. 1-0. East in front.
So a productive out, as they say. Ahern grounding to shortstop. They conceded the run. Smart thing to do in the fourth inning.
Good play at short, too. That ball almost hit the runner, which would have really been an advantage right there for the West, because the runners wouldn't have been able to advance the base if it had hit the runner rather. It would have been out. And the runners wouldn't have advanced, so.
So who do we have up now? I'm sorry. And it's got to be a rookie because he's first pitch swinging.
Flies that one to center to retire the side.
That was Chuck Horn at the top. No, I'm sorry. No, that would
Brian
Hearn would have been Brian Resnick if we're going according to the.
So Brian Resnick flies out to center to
sorry.
end the inning. But the East finally pushes across the first run of the game. Artie Johnson comes around.